Hi guys, SEO Dorks here, or you could just call me Gabe. We are here at week 4 of the SEO training, and what we have in front of you is a blog. Now, if you don't have a blog, or you are thinking about getting started with the blog, or you currently do have a blog, well, this is for you. We're going to cover all phases of your blog. Now, for individuals that don't have a blog, make sure you go ahead and you check out GoDaddy. They're offering the Wordpress 4th generation web hosting, and it's pretty cool. It's dynamic hosting that grows with your blog, and this is pretty important because, well, as your blog grows and as traffic grows, you need a scalable solution and keep your blog up and running, top performance, instead of getting slowed down and, your users getting frustrated and all the such and just getting off your website. So, keep this in mind at GoDaddy. Check it out. WordPress 4th generation web hosting. Alright guys, so just keep that in mind. But what we have here is the rxathletes.com website. And so what I've been asked to do is basically take this website, pretty brand new, and optimize it. Get it ranked in the search engines. Get it ranked on Google. Get it ranked for the keyword RX. And I said, well, sure enough, let's do that. But I also wanted to take the time to show you guys how this is done, how we're actually putting a blog together from the very beginnings. Okay, now individuals talk about, you have a fantastic blog and you have all these plugins and you have all these secrets and methods and blah, 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 blah. And, well, I'm going to tell you, you know what? Let's just cut through all the smoke and the mirrors and all the such, and let's just get to the bare bones and the basics on how to build a blog the right way. So, here's the site. I'm working on the content. I'm putting up the images. I'm doing everything. But what you really need to focus on is what I'm doing internally. So, this is the RX Athletes back office for the WordPress blog. And for some of you, you may be familiar with this. For others, you may not be. But I tell you what, get familiar. A blog is the life and blood of your business, period. There is no questions asked to this. If you don't have a blog tied to your website or to your marketing efforts, then you're pretty much just sitting in the water. Google loves blogs. End of it. All right? New content. Google loves new content. End of it. Relevant content. Google loves relevant content. End of it. So, we use the blog to be able to provide this stuff to Google, and Google rewards us with high rankings. However, when we get into the WordPress back office, we actually have a very bland setup. And unfortunately, individuals go ahead and just take their blog and they start writing away. They have this incredible idea, this great product or whatever it be, based on a specific keyword, and they're like, hey, you know what? I'm going to write about this stuff, and I'm going to get ranked. And you know what? I mean, in a perfect world, hey, that works. But we live in an imperfect world, guys, so there's a lot of setup to do. It's you can't have a Ferrari without the engine and, all the other great stuff, right? So what we're doing is we're making sure that our engine in our WordPress blog is set up and tweaked and ready to perform. So let's get rocking and rolling here, guys. Alright, so the first thing I want to do when we set up a blog before we write content is I want to check the permalink structure. Now, by default, you get this ugly thing here. By default, this is the way all WordPress blogs are set up. To use basically a numerical identifier, so you go ahead and you create a blog, your very first blog. Well, its numerical identifier would be P equals 1. That'll be your first blog post. Just give it a numerical ID. And there is absolutely no benefit to a numerical ID. So, my advice, before you go ahead and you start writing, your great content, is to check out your permalink settings. And you could actually find that down on the bottom on settings here. Again, permalinks. And we have different settings here. I'm using a custom structure, particularly for this blog. But for most people, the month and name or the day and name will suffice. So what is the day and name or month and name? What is that? Well, basically what this is you go ahead and as you're writing your posts, to go ahead and archive the day that the post was created. But then here at the very end, you see that there, sample post? What it actually does is it names that page of the post you just created. It actually gives it an identifiable title. This is very, very important, guys. We're not talking about a numerical title. We are talking about an identifiable title. So what does an identifiable title look like? Well, an identifiable title looks like this. Arcs.com. We have our numbers here. And then, boom, our title. Eric's inspired by those we inspire. So that's our title here. Again, I'm trying to optimize for the keyword arcs. We want to go ahead and get this page 1 on Google. So we need to make sure that Google understands what our site is about. And having numerical identifiers by default just tells Google, hey, I'm number 1. Hey, I'm number 2. So make sure that you have day and name or month and name. Make sure you already have that set. Or if you're advanced, you just go in and you throw in a custom structure down here. But day and name, month and name, perfect. Alright guys, so that's the first thing you want to do when you're setting up a blog, is check out your permalink structures. Alright? Now, the second thing you want to do is go into the Writings tab. Alright? And what I want to pay particular attention to in the Writing tab under Settings is the Update Services. Now we have Update Services here. See that? Alright. Basically, when you publish a new post, WordPress automatically notifies the following site update services. And basically, what happens here is by default, well, I have a lot there. I have a lot of update services there. But by default, the WordPress installation only comes with one, the very first one there. I have added well over 100 additional update services, but one in particular is the Google Ping update services. Now, this is actually Google's blog search update service. Now, what's happening here? Well, basically what's happening is that when I create new content, the WordPress engine will go ahead and send a notification to these services and say, hey, we have new content. Make sure you get Google on over. Okay, make sure that you get the search engines on over. Make sure you get Yahoo over. Make sure you get Bing over. Make sure you get Ask over. Make sure you get all those guys over, all the search engines. So basically the major search engines really depend on these update services because they're more like archives. They're archives of new content. And so when Google sends their spider, or Yahoo sends their search spider, or Metacrawler, or Bing sends their guys, what they end up doing is going to these update services first and looking at the newly updated list. The newly updated list. And basically, as you're writing posts or creating new content, you're actually updating the list to these servers. So what happens is that Google sends these spiders down to these update pages. It says, new content. Let me go check it out. And basically, en route through the update services, Google lands on your page and indexes your page. And this is really, really important because as a new website or a small website, you sort of kind of need to rely on third parties such as these update services to get Google's attention. Reason being is because a brand new website or a young website does not have what we call domain authority. Okay, domain authority is something you build over the years. It's something also known as Google Trust. You know, you have to establish Google Trust. Google has to know what your website's about. Make sure you're not a spammer. Make sure you're not abusing the search engines. Make sure you're not engaging in any black hat marketing techniques or just stuff you shouldn't be doing. I mean, you see a lot of crappy websites out there and you're like, oh my God, how did this land up on the search engines? Well, Google, with their most recent Panda update, is actually combating all that garbage out there on the internet. But what is also being implemented is the Google Rank or Google Trust Factor, and I'm sure you guys have heard about that before. If you haven't, go ahead, jump on Google, do your search for Google Rank and Trust Factors, and you'll be able to find that information there. But for established websites, you know, maybe a year old, 2 years old, make sure you have these update services also checked. make sure you go back to your writings tab in your settings and check this out and update your list. You can go ahead and do a search for WordPress Update Services 2012. You can do a search on Google, WordPress Update Services 2012, and you will get the most up-to-date service list out there, and you just go ahead and copy that list and you paste it right here. I could also take this list and post it on the RX site where you guys will be viewing this presentation, so you guys can just pretty much copy and paste it onto your WordPress blog. So we covered two things: your permalink and your writing, making sure that your URL structures are actually identified with content-rich keywords in your URL as opposed to numbers and your numeric identification, and we have the update services covered. So that's it, guys. We're done. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so we have some more stuff to cover here. So there are plenty of tools out there that allow us to better optimize our WordPress blogs, and one of those tools that people tend to overlook, well, a lot of tools that people tend to overlook, but one in particular is actually here. It's called All-in-One SEO. Now, All-in-One SEO is an absolutely free plugin. All right, for those who are familiar with WordPress, you can just go ahead and install a new plugin. You go on over to your plugin section here. I click it for you. And then we click Add New, and then just do a search here for All-in-One SEO. You see that there, and we just go ahead and we find it, All-in-One SEO here, and well, there's an update button. I don't really want to update it right now, but you could actually install it. When it's a brand new install, you'll actually have the install now button instead of the update button. But I'm not going to update here for the sake of this recording. I'll update when you guys are sleeping or something like that. All right. So we have the All-in-One SEO plugin. It's a very simple install. You just go on over to your plugin section, add new, do a search for All-in-One SEO, and install that plugin. So let's go back to All-in-One SEO right here, guys. So what we have is a couple of things. Now, don't be intimidated. Don't be intimidated by the word SEO. Don't be intimidated by the word, description, keywords, canonical URLs, rewrite titles. Don't be intimidated by those things. What we simply need to do is, once we get this plugin installed, we enable it, and then we create a home title. Now, what will be the home title of your blog? Now, obviously, you want to set up a home title that is keyword rich or specific to your niche. So here we have RX. RX here, showcasing athletes who use our products. And that's our home title. But I have the keyword that I'm attempting to rank for. I got to get this on the first page of Google for the company here. So I got to make sure that my keyword's somewhere in the home title. All right. Now we have the description here. What is your site about? Are you writing about RX? Are you writing about red Camaros? Are you writing about Blue Jays, hookers, the best beer, wine, whatever? Whatever you're writing about, make sure that you're able to describe it in your home description. Here, I'm writing about RX, and it is more than a nutrition company. It is a company who inspires those who inspire us to create phenomenal product and business opportunity. All right, that is my description, but I included my keyword here, RX. There you go. Included my keyword there. And so what's happening here is that, well, Google's saying, all right, their home title has RX, their home description has RX, with the keyword that we're going for. This has to be related to RX. So then we take it a step further, and this section here, the home keywords. Well, there's been recent talk among the SEO atmosphere here, guys, all the SEO dorks. I get calls every day, people asking me questions, and, the common question is, hey, do I have to put my keywords in? Well, you know what? This is best practice. Yes, you do. Now, Google has said they do not rely heavily on keywords only because the evolution of the search engine, putting your keywords in your website is so 1990s. But I would like to think that you need to get into the best practice. Maintain your best practices. Put your home keywords. Right? So my home keywords are RX, RX Corporate, RX Global, RX Business, RX Opportunities, RX Athletes. So That's my focus. I'm letting Google know through my home title, my home description, and my home keywords that this blog, rxathletes.com, is related to the keyword RX. That's step one. Again, whatever your niche is, if you want to do home-based business or how to market home-based business or internet marketing or anything like that, just make sure that your blog from home to description to keyword is all related. And you write a pretty cool description, make sure people want to click on it. So that's the first plugin. Again, all-in-one SEO. It's absolutely free. You just install it and listen to what I'm saying. That's it. Just really listen to what I'm saying. You're going to learn a lot here, guys. All right. Then we have another plugin. It's called SEO Smart Links. And you guys getting the deal here? I got all-in-one SEO. I got SEO Smart Links. So the theme here has got to be SEO, right? Well, my name is SEO Dorks. I'm all about search engine optimization. I'm all about getting ranked online. I'm all about understanding all the tools, all the free tools and resources available to all of us to make sure that we can get ranked online, whether you're a newbie or a professional or just have intermediate experience. Whether you're a hardcore blogger like myself or just a casual blogger, whatever, you want to make sure you have these plugins installed. So we have SEO Smart Links here. Alright, so what is SEO Smart Links? Alright, I'll tell you what SEO Smart Links is. SEO Smart Links is basically one of those things that you set and forget. So, remember I talked about my primary keyword. The keyword that I'm attempting to rank for is RX. I want to get it on the first page of Google for the keyword RX for the company. Okay, so I have that keyword there, RX, and I have the little comma here, but then I have this URL, rxathletes.com, right? And so basically what I'm telling the system here is that whenever I write content and the word RX pops up, for the system to automatically create a link. A link, yeah. Just to automatically create a link when the keyword RX pops up. And basically that link will link to rxathletes.com. Now, why am I doing that? Why am I linking to myself? This is my own blog. Why am I linking to myself? Well, let's go ahead and look at this. Let's really check it out. So, here we have RX is a link. You see RX Athletes here. We have another RX link, and it's linking to RX Athletes. Just to show you what I mean, we'll click this link, and it's going back to the main page. So why am I doing this? Everybody wants to know, why the heck are you linking to yourself? Well, the reason why I'm linking to myself is because Google wants to make sure, or again, a good practice, or a good thing to show Google, excuse me, is that you have a solid internal linking structure. Now, search engine optimization gurus, all those guys out there, they all talk about backlinks, backlinks, backlinks. You want backlinks. You want to get backlinks. You want to be popular with backlinks. The thing is, what they're really forgetting is that search engine optimization starts from the inside out. So you want to be optimized from the inside before you get optimized from the outside and getting backlinks from other websites. So basically, the first job here is to make sure that you're linking to yourself using your keywords. Again, this is what SEO Smart Links is all about. Basically, in the overview here, it says SEO Smart Links can automatically link keywords and phrases in your posts and comments with corresponding posts, pages, categories, and tags on your blog. So, what this program is basically doing is automating my internal linking structure. And that's super cool, because when Google or Yahoo or Bing, and I don't talk about Yahoo or Bing too much because they're like, the stepchild of search engines. Google's like a little prima donna here, but all of the search engines basically like to see that you have internal links. You're linking to other posts on your blog. You're linking to other pages, and there's a sort of kind of like spider network. The pages are linking to one another, and they're linking back to their home page, and that's really, really important, because when Google lands on your blog, reads your content, sees the link, and for instance, you're ranking for the keyword, Red Camaro. So it sees the link there, Red Camaro, It knows that that blog post is about Red Camaro, but what about your entire website? Maybe your entire website's about Red Camaros, right? So they clicks that link, it sends them on over to the Red Camaro homepage. And Google's like, this whole entire website's about the Red Camaro. So Google will then rank you higher up the search engines. And I hope I'm explaining myself well in that. But that's basically what's happening. And that's why this tool is so cool. I could just go ahead and put in another keyword like athletes. Make sure I spell that right. Then I hit the comma here. And then I just copy this here. And ta-da! Then any of the words in my blog that have athletes in it would actually automatically link to rxathletes.com. Now, you could actually have different URLs. If you have other blogs and you want to link to other blogs, or you have a network of blogs, or you want to link to maybe something you found on Wikipedia, this is a great way of doing it. It automates it for you, which is super cool. You don't have to sit there and say, do I need to make this a link? No, this plugin does it automatically for you. Alright, so that is the benefit of the Smart Links SEO plugin. Alright, now we're going to go into another plugin here. The theme is SEO. So the next plugin here we have SEO search terms tagging 2. Alright, again, the theme is SEO, right? Hey, I'm an SEO dork. Everything has SEO in it, right? Anyways, so we have SEO search terms tagging 2. Now, what this does, search terms tagging 2, what it does is it automatically archives the keywords that individuals on Google are using to find your site. It archives it, and it creates a list on the bottom of your post, And why are we doing that? Well, we're doing that because, for instance, someone's typing in RX Athletes, right? And they land on this blog. Well, RX Athletes as a keyword will actually show up at the bottom of the post. And so the next time Google crawls the page, they're going to say, incoming search terms to this page or this site is RX Athletes. This really has a lot to do with RX Athletes, or this really has a lot to do with RX. So it creates the archive, and it's good to build that archive list, just basically different keywords, maybe 5 to 10 keywords deep at the bottom of your post, so that Google says, alright, this is really related to RX, and this is really related to RX Athletes. So this is basically the fundamentals to setting up your blog. Again, you want to make sure that the URL and link structure is in place. You want to make sure that your update services is not limited to one. You want to make sure that, when you create a post or, write something new on your blog, it gets sent to all the update services out there, including the Google Blog Search update service. And then you want to go ahead and make sure you have these plugins, SEO Smart Links, and SEO Search Terms 2 installed. And it's pretty self-explanatory. But the reason why these plugins are a must is because it really automates, it really dump-proofs the whole process of SEO, building the internal linking, making sure that, everything is just nice, solid, and kosher on your blog, right? And these simple steps are grossly overlooked through, it doesn't matter, through many different industries, people are creating blogs and they're just not understanding the proper setup. So this is the proper setup 150% of the way. This is how you have to set your blog up. And then you could go ahead and start creating posts, write your posts, write your articles. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about article creation. We're going to talk about your posts. We're going to talk about, let's see here. Let's go into one of our posts here. Alright, so we have one of our posts here on this blog, RX Inspired by Those We Inspire. As you can see, it's there, and the URL is it's descriptive. So Google's going to read this too, along with this title. And I have an image here, the RX image. And, an image is a very powerful thing. People like to look at things. I mean, I like to look at women. I don't know about you guys. Well, beautiful women anyways, right? But people like to look at things. And I also like to look at my Star Wars figurines. Okay, anyways, back on track. We have the RX image here. Now, an image is an image, like, people wonder, okay, why are we talking about images? Well, I'm going to tell you why we're talking about images. Excuse me. Images are very, very, very important. Now, besides the content that we have down here, alright, an image not only gets the attention of the eyeball, but it allows you to create optimized content for Google. Now, Google is not actually reading this image here. It's not. Google is actually reading, I'll show you, the alternate text. The stuff that we don't care to see, Google is reading it. RX, inspired by others, inspired by those who inspire. So I'm just pretty much copying the title and I'm putting it in the alternate text box here. But why am I doing that? Well, the alternate text is basically describing your image. What is your image about? Now, Google cannot read an image per se. Google doesn't say, oh, pretty picture, nice black, nice white, nice gold there. I like this logo. No, Google doesn't do that. What Google does is it reads the alternate text segment of your images. So you want to make sure that when you're posting images on your blog, that you have a descriptive alternate text filled out. What is this picture about? Again, if you're optimizing for the keyword red Camaros and you have a picture of a red Camaro, you want to put something in the alternate text, not just a picture. In the alternate text, you want to put red Camaro. This is a sexy car, or something of that nature, Just make sure your alternate text gets filled out. And I'm going to show you what that looks like to Google. Let's go here, and at the very top, where this image is, this is basically just website code, right? Like people just really don't care about it, but Google does. And where is that description? Ta-da, right here. In the alt tag, you see alt equals, and in quotation marks, I have description of the image. This is what Google's reading. Google's not reading the image per se. It's reading the location of where this image is stored, but it cannot see and understand that image, so it relies on this tag here, the alt tag. And again, you don't need to know HTML to be able to have that alt tag there. Just make sure you go ahead and name your image and give it an alternate text. So, we got that squared away. Now, let's look at this. Got RX athletes in big words. I got about RX in big words. Basically, what am I doing? Well, if you go into the HTML, this is what's called a heading 1 tag. You see it in the box right here, the heading 1 tag, RX athletes, right? Now, when Google's reading a web page, they want to know what you're emphasizing. What are you emphasizing? What is your blog post emphasizing? Well, I want to emphasize again the keyword RX. So I'm putting it up here in an H1 tag. Well, RX athletes. I'm emphasizing not only RX, but RX athletes, right? So I'm putting it within an H1 tag, and so the letters are just bigger, like boom, in your face. Now, Google's reading this as an H1 tag. Okay, again, in HTML code, you'll see that as an H1 tag. Okay, so what I'm telling Google is, hey, this is important. This is what this page is all about. This is really, really important. So make sure you go ahead and give me points for being relevant to RX and RX athletes. And then we have one here. It's not necessarily as big, but I'm saying, hey, give me some importance for this heading 2 tag here about RX. So you see the heading 2 here. You can actually just change it in your WordPress back office. That's what I love about WordPress. It's like so easy. It's just so foolproof. It's dumb-proof. You could just pretty much just select your tags here. H1 or heading 1, heading 2. Just set your tags. And let's get back over to heading 2 here. All right. And so in HTML, it looks like H2. Now, Google has talked a lot about having emphasis on H1 and H2 tags because, well, it stands out. And Google's trying to duplicate the user experience. And so when someone lands on your site and they're doing a search for red Camaro, what is the first thing you're going to do? You're going to show them a picture of a red Camaro, right? To let them know that your website's about a red Camaro. Keep them on your webpage. Makes sense, right? Then what you're going to do is you're going to highlight, some of the specifications in this red Camaro. How fast does it go? 0 to 60, horsepower, all the such, all the features on this car. But you're probably going to go ahead and have it in a bigger caption. Red Camaro or Camaro specs, or however you're going to word it, but you're going to put Camaro in bigger letters. It really helps your readers identify what the content's all about, but it also helps Google Spider identify what your content's all about. Remember, Google is trying to duplicate the human reader experience or the human search experience, and that's why their algorithm is like 20,000 metrics and signals long. We're talking about millions and millions and millions of lines of code, but that's what Google's trying to do. And so Google's trying to read your website no different than an actual person is reading a website. So you want to make sure that the key points stick out in H1 and H2 tags. You don't want to overdo it. You want to maybe have 1 or 2, possibly 3 H1 or H2 or H3 tags. Don't overdo it. But you want to make sure it's there and it stands out and it's related to the keyword that you're trying to optimize for. And that's really, really, really important here, guys. Okay? So, with that being said, let's go ahead and look at the breakdown of this. I have my categories in place, ARCs athletes. I have all-in-one SEO pack here. Alright, remember how we went to the all-in-one SEO pack and we were setting up the title and description for the main homepage? Well, what this plugin does is it allows you to add a title and description and keyword for the actual post, not just your website, but the actual pages in your website. And this is absolutely incredible because it allows you to create web pages with their own identity, rather. Where you're writing about red Camaro, and then you have a specific page on a black Camaro or a red Corvette or a red Mustang. You can go ahead and identify that content here. Again, Google is reading this stuff. So you want to make sure you take advantage of this. After you finish writing your blog post, and making sure it's image rich and keyword rich, that you go ahead and you scroll down to the bottom and you take advantage of this all-in-one SEO box down here and type in information about this particular post. And that's really, really important. And so I think that pretty much does it as far as like optimizing and setting up your blog. But this is the core. This is the core. There's no such thing as SEO secrets. There are a lot of methods to SEO. There's no such thing as SEO mystery. Again, SEO is a practice. It's something that you need to do. It's something that you need to be aware of and have a solid foundation on. And again, people are just so sucked into secrets. Getting ranked on Google overnight, I tell you, that's a whole lot of horse crap. I've been at this for 10 years as an SEO specialist, and I wish I got websites ranked overnight. It just doesn't work that way. Google wants to see you do your work, wants to make sure that you're doing the right stuff, that you're giving good content and, just good stuff for their readers before they get you on the search engine. So there's sort of kind of like a penalty time, maybe about a week or 2 weeks before you're really working your way up the search engines. So keep that in mind. Search engine optimization is all about patience, and it's all about having the right foundation. And with the blog, the setup here is the perfect setup and foundation for you guys. And you go ahead and you just write your content. Make sure you have an image. Make sure you have your H1 and H2 tags. Make sure you have the Smart Links tool there, so it automatically links your primary keyword back to your website or any other resource site that you think might be helpful. That is basically the beginning foundation to a successful blog. And the first steps in search engine optimization. So that is it for week 4, guys. This is just the beginning. Week 5 is going to be really, really exciting. I'm going to show you how to do keyword research. I'm going to show you how to, break apart your competitors. I'm going to show you how to reverse engineer a whole lot of things and really see where the traffic's coming from, how to find the best traffic. Again, you don't want to write about stuff that gets 0 traffic, right? I mean, what's the point, right? So you want to go ahead and write about things that have a good amount of searches each and every day. And I'm going to show you how to find those keywords and phrases. We're going to use a little Google tools. We're going to use a little third-party software. A lot of cool different things that when you add it all up, you'll be able to find the niche that will work for you and be able to start writing about to generate traffic. Because remember, the purpose of search engine optimization is to rank on the search engines, to generate traffic, to generate leads. That's really, really important. Free traffic equals free leads, and free leads equals money. That's the whole point. Generate leads to make a sale, to make money. So that is the whole, pretense of everything I'm showing you here. Again, this is step 1 in building the foundation, and we're going to get ready to blast off week 5, guys. So I look forward to seeing you guys week 5, and we're going to take it a whole nother level. Alright guys, have a great week, and happy Easter, by the way. Have a safe weekend, guys. Take it easy. God bless.